I'm tracing the map of the lines on my palm, searching for motion, searching for calm. I poured all my salt in the wounds of the bed, thinking we'd flow to the ocean ahead. But the maps were all lying, the compass was wrong. We've been drifting in circles for way too damn long. The current is slowing, the water is still. We're climbing a wave that we'll never quite fill. We're just rivers that don't reach the sea, running out of road, running out of me. We carve through the canyon, we fight through the stone, only to end up stranded alone. The blue turns to brown as we sink in the sand, never touching the shore of promised land. Just tired water, nowhere left to be, like rivers that don't reach the sea. I remember the spring when the mountain was white, and we ran with the fever in the middle of the night. We thought we were endless, we thought we were wide, but the valley is greedy, it swallowed our pride. Now the banks are just mud, and the reeds are all dead, and I'm choking on words that I should have just said. Does the rain feel like failure when it hits the ground? Does the stream feel the silence when it loses its sound? We were headed for something vast and divine, but the horizon just vanished and drew a new line. Yeah, we're rivers that don't reach the sea, running out of road, running out of me. We carve through the canyon, we fight through the stone, only to end up stranded alone. The blue turns to brown as we sink in the sand, never touching the shore of promised land. Just tired water, nowhere left to be, like rivers that don't reach the sea. So I'll evaporate into the gray, a little less of us every single day. No crashing waves, no deep blue end, just a dried bed where I used to be your friend. Rivers that don't reach, they just stop right here. I'm standing in the hallway where you used to lean. The air is thin and cold and the spaces in between. I'm trying to be solid, I'm trying to be stone, but I've got a transparency I've never known. You look right through me like I'm not even there. Just a phantom shape made of light and empty air. I used to be your mirror, reflecting all your best. Now I'm just a window looking out at all the rest. I'm invisible until I start to crack, and there's no glue that's ever bringing us back. Because I'm glass and I'm easy to break. I've got more fissures than a heart should take. You can see the shiver, you can see the fear. I'm crystal clear, but I'm disappearing here. One sharp word is all it takes to crash and leave me on the floor in a silver flash. The edges are dangerous, the pieces are small. I'm a hazard now to anyone who dares to call. I remember when we were a stained glass sky, colors so vibrant they could make a person cry. But the lead gave way and the frame fell apart. Now there's a jagged hole where I used to have a heart. You can't touch it without getting cut. The door to the gallery is permanently shut. I'm fragile, I'm frozen, I'm caught in the light. Just a million splinters screaming in the night. Watch your step, I'm all that's left, transparent and torn and fading fast. Just another soul made of glass. I stood on the pier till the wood started rotting, counting the ships and the dreams I was plotting. You said you were salt and you'd stay in my skin, but the tide's going out and the cold's moving in. I'm throwing my secrets like stones in the surf, but they don't make a sound on this hollowed out earth. I'm reaching for foam that dissolves in my hand. A kingdom of water, a desert of sand. Now I'm lost in the middle of a heart like a sea, where the waves are as lonely as I'll ever be. It's too deep to swim, and it's too far to shore, and I don't hear your heartbeat in the crashing anymore. Just a horizon that's empty. houses blinked till the glass turned to gray, watching the pieces of us drift away. A message in bottles with no one to read, just the ache of the current, the pull of the greed. I thought you were anchor, I thought you were home, but you were just white caps and bitter cold foam. There's no bottom to hit when you're falling this deep. Just secrets the sharks and the shipwrecks all keep. I'm treading the water, I'm gasping for air, but the ocean don't care that you're no longer there. Yeah, I'm lost in the middle of a heart like a sea, where the waves are as lonely as I'll ever be. It's too deep to swim, and it's too far to shore, and I don't hear your heartbeat in the crashing anymore. Just a horizon that's empty and blue, trying to drown out the memory of you. Wash me away, let the salt sting the pain, until there's nothing but water and nothing but rain. Just the sea, endless sea. I found the compass in the kitchen drawer, but the needle doesn't point to us anymore. I'm tracing lines across the kitchen table, trying to find a route, but I'm not able. We spent years building roads to a golden shore. Now I'm just standing at an open door. I'm holding a map with no destination, a traveler lost in a ghost of a nation. I've got the coordinates of where we used to be, but there's no X marks the spot for you and me. Every highway leads to a dead-end street, and the ground is disappearing beneath my feet. Just a drifter chasing a faded vibration on a map with no destination. The ink is running where my tears have hit the page, like a bird that forgot the way out of the cage. I passed the landmark where we had our first fight. It's just a pile of gravel in the rear view light. I'm burning through the fuel I'll just keep driving into the grave, folding the paper and throwing it away. No north, no south, no home in sight, just a long road into the night. I'm standing at the corner of 5th and Regret, checking a map that hasn't helped me yet. The needle is spinning, a frantic little ghost, losing the landmarks that I needed the most. You were my North Star, steady and bright. Now I'm just walking through a permanent night. Left looks like right, and the sky is turning black, and I've lost the breadcrumbs to lead me back. I'm checking the wind, but it's blowing both ways, lost in a thicket of yesterday's haze. Every direction just leads to your door, but I don't live in your heart anymore. I got broken compass syndrome, I'm spinning in place, looking for home in a stranger's face. The magnet is pulled by the weight of your ghost. I'm drifting the furthest when I'm feeling the close. I can't find the path, I can't find the line. I'm losing the rhythm, I'm losing the time. Yeah, I'm aimless and hopeless and wandering along with a broken compass syndrome. I tried to follow the sun to the west, but it sank in the ocean like a stone in my chest. I'm circling the places where we used to go, like a bird in a storm with nowhere to store. The coordinates changed when you said we were through. Now all of my latitudes lead back to you. It's a glitch in the system, a crack in the glass, watching the world and the travelers pass. Is it a circle or is it a spiral? The pain that I'm feeling is going viral. I'm miles from the start, but I'm nowhere near done. Just a runaway moon chasing a long gone sun. I've got broken compass syndrome, I'm spinning in place, looking for home in a stranger's face. The magnet is pulled by I'm just so lost. I'm sitting on the floor of this empty room with a box of wood and a sense of doom. One by one I'm laying them down, trying to get back to the heart of town, where you still love me and the air was sweet before the pavement cracked beneath our feet. It's a fragile frame and a desperate design, trying to reach your hand from this side of the line. I'm building bridges out of matches in a wind that's picking up speed, trying to patch up all the gashes with a love I no longer need. It's 1,000 little splinters, a delicate spark, one heavy breath, and I'm back in the dark. I'm crossing over, or I'm going down in flames, building bridges out of matches and calling out your name. Ooh. The gap between us is a mile wide, and I'm losing ground to the rising tide. I've got sulfur on my fingers and a hollow chest, putting my shaking hands to the ultimate test. They say you can't go back, that the wood is too dry, but I'd rather burn out than not even try to span the distance of the things we didn't say before the winter came and swept it all away. One strike of lightning, one slip of the tongue, and the song of us is finally sung. The structural integrity of a ghost and a dream is never as solid as it's gonna seem. I'm building bridges out of matches in a wind that's picking up speed, trying to patch up all the gashes with a love I no longer need. It's 1,000 little splinters, a delicate spark, one heavy breath, and I'm back in the dark. I'm crossing over, or I'm going down in flames, building bridges out of matches photos and I changed the sheets. I moved to the side of the quiet streets. I told my shadow not to speak your name, but the walls keep whispering it just the same. I locked the door and I threw the key, but you're still living in the ghost of me. I thought that time was a healer's hand to wash the footprints from the shifting sand, but the tide comes in and the tide goes out, and you're the only thing I'm sure about. 'Cause people leave and fires go cold, and stories end before they're even told. But memories never die, they just breathe underwater like a haunting song. It only gets stronger. I can bury the past under 1,000 skies, but the memory of you, it never dies. I see your silhouette in a stranger's gate. I feel your gravity, that familiar weight. I try to drown the echoes in a crowded room, but they bloom like flowers in a sudden tomb. Every song on the radio is a knife, tracing the outline of a different life. They stay sharp when they should be blurred. They stay loud without a single word. A permanent ink on a temporary soul. The only part of me that's still whole. Everything fades, everything goes gray, except for the way you looked that day. Close my eyes and you're still alive, because memories, they never die. The coffee's getting cold on the side of the table. I'm reading the labels just to see if I'm able to look at your chair without seeing your ghost. I'm missing the person who hurt me the most. You're sitting right there, but you're miles away. The shadows are growing in the middle of the day. The air is getting heavy, the pressure's dropping low. There's nowhere for this bitterness to go. Now there's storm clouds in the living room, hanging off the lights. We're shivering in silence through these static heavy nights. I'm waiting for the thunder, I'm waiting for the crack to tell me that you're leaving. to fall. Yeah, it's pouring inside, and there's nowhere to hide. The porch light is flickering, losing the fight against the slow crawl up the oncoming night. I'm sitting on steps where we used to just talk. Now there's a border drawn in white chalk. The key in my pocket feels heavy as lead, locked out of the life that we lived in my head. The sky is a bruise of purple and gold, a beautiful ending I'm forced to behold. It's a sunset over a closed door, lighting up the things I can't have anymore. The gold hits the handle, the red hits the wood. I turn back the clock if I only could, but the light is just fading. The shadows are long, and the warmth of your shadow is finally gone. Just a glow on the hinges, a prayer on the floor, watching the sunset over a closed door. I can see through the curtains, a lamp in the hall, the silhouette of a ghost leaning against the wall. You're moving in there like I'm already gone, while I'm out here waiting for a different dawn. The windows are eyes that refuse to see that there's nothing left of the you and the me. Don't the colors look cruel when they're saying goodbye? Painting a masterpiece across a dead sky. It's pretty and painful and perfectly clear that the sun's going down on everything here. It's a sunset over the closed door. It's a sunset over a closed door, lighting up the things I can't have anymore. The gold hits the handle, the red hits the wood. I turn back the clock if I only could, but the light is just fading. The shadows are long, and the warmth of your shadow is finally gone. Just a glow on the hinges, a prayer on the floor, watching the sunset over a closed door. Now the pink turns to gray, and the street lights are humming. I knew this was over, I saw it all coming, but it's dark on the landing, and it's cold on the street. The sunset is over, the silence is sweet, the door stays closed. I'm standing in the hallway of the life we used to own. Everything is quiet now, a different kind of home. I've hung up all the memories in frames along the wall, but looking at your smile just makes me feel so small. I'm the only one with tickets to this empty, hollow show, walking through the wreckage of a love we let go. Welcome to the museum of you and me, where the ghosts of our forever are all that's left to see. Our first hello is cataloged, our last goodbye is etched in stone. I'm the curator of secrets in a house that's not a home. It's a beautiful collection of a world that fell apart in the cold, quiet halls of the museum of my heart. There's the sweater that you left behind, draped across a chair. I can almost see the sunlight catching highlights in your hair, and the ticket stubs from movies that we didn't even watch, back when every single second was a treasure we could touch. Now I'm dusting off the whispers and the dreams we used to name. Everything is frozen, but nothing is the same. The do not touch signs are everywhere I turn, because every single relic is a lesson I had to learn. I'd burn the whole building down just to hold you for a night, but I'm trapped inside the exhibits, lost without the light. Welcome to the museum of you and me, where the ghosts of our forever are all that's left to see. Our first hello is cataloged, our last goodbye is etched in stone. I'm the curator of secrets in a house that's not a home. It's a beautiful collection of a world that fell apart in the cold, quiet halls of the museum of my heart. Admission is free, but the cost was my soul, trying to fix a story that I can't control. I'll just dim the lights and lock the door, 'cause we don't live here anymore. No, we don't live here anymore. I'm folding up the letters that I never got to send, counting every sharp edge line where the story had to end. You told me we were timeless, like ink on ancient stone, but I'm just scraps of memories sitting here alone. I'm trying to stay steady, trying to hold my ground, but the wind is picking up and there's no one else around. It only takes a whisper to pull it all apart, when you're carrying the burden of a paper heart. It's so heavy for something so light, trying not to tear in the middle of the night. One little raindrop, one little spark, and I'm just ashes drifting in the dark. You walked away easy, you made it in art, to leave me with the weight of a paper heart. I'm hiding every crease, trying to look like new, but I'm covered in the fingerprints left behind by you. I thought I was a fortress, I thought I was a wall, but I'm just a hollow shell waiting for the fall. You can crumple it up, you can throw it away, but the folds never leave no matter what you say. I'm fragile, I'm faded, I'm thin as a ghost, losing the person I needed the most. So free for something so light, trying not to tear in the middle of the night. One little raindrop, one little spark, and I'm just ashes drifting in the dark. You walked away easy, you made it an art, to leave me with the weight of a paper heart. So light, but it crushes me down. A paper heart, lost in this town, just a breath away from falling apart. The weight of a paper heart. The mercury's dropping like a stone in a well, and the air has a bite that I know all too well. I'm standing on the corner where we used to meet, watching my breath turn to ghosts on the street. I left my jacket on the back of your chair, thinking I'd be back, thinking you would be there. Now the frost is creeping up the window pane, trying to freeze the memory of your name. The sky is a sheet of industrial gray, and the warmth of your skin is a lifetime away. Now it's winter without a coat, a heavy heart in a sinking boat. I'm shivering through the old ways we spoke, watching our fire turn to nothing but smoke. The wind cuts through like a jagged knife, since you took the heat right out of my life. It's a long cold road I'm walking remote, just surviving a winter without a coat. Coffee's gone cold in the palm of my hand, just like the future that we had both planned. I see couples walking with their fingers entwined, and I'm wrapping my arms around the hole that you left behind. I thought your love would be enough of a shield, but the ice doesn't care how a broken heart feels. Let the snow fall down, let it cover the tracks to the version of us that isn't coming back. I'm turning blue in this beautiful white, searching for a candle in the dead of the night. Yeah, it's winter without a coat, a heavy heart and a sinking boat. I'm shivering through the old ways we spoke, watching our fire turn to nothing but smoke. The wind cuts through like a jagged knife, since you took the heat right out of my life. It's a long, cold road I'm walking remote, just surviving a winter without a coat. So I'll just stand here until I turn to stone. It's a different kind of cold when you're freezing alone. No coat, no fire, just the snow. The stage is set, the house lights start to dim. I'm standing where the harmony used to begin. I look to my left, but the chair is made of dust, just a hollow space where I used to place my trust. I'm holding my bow like a soldier's broken sword, waiting for a resolve that we can't afford. We were a crescendo, a fever in the air. Now I'm catching ghost notes that aren't even there. The silence is a rhythm that I can't escape, a masterpiece lost in a blurred out shape. Now I'm playing a symphony for one, under the heat of a dying sun, trying to fill the ups up here with a single sound, while the walls of our feet are come crashing ground. It's too much echo for a heart to carry through. A symphony for one that used to be for two. I reach for the high notes, but my fingers start to shake. There's a crack in the wood that I know I didn't make. Every minor chord feels like it's calling out your name. A beautiful arrangement fueled by a bitter flame. The sheet music is yellow, the ink is running dry, just like the promises we let bleed out and die. No brass to back me up, no rhythm in my chest. can't find peace. I'm walking on eggshells in the middle of a room where the light hits the dust in the afternoon gloom. I see your reflection in the window pane, but it's just a trick of the autumn rain. One wrong step, one heavy thought, and I'm tangled in the shards of the war we fought. We built a palace out of crystal and grace. Now there's a fracture all across your face. I'm holding my breath so I don't let it slip, but the jagged edges are starting to grip. Oh, these brittle glass memories are cutting me deep. Secrets in the splinters that I tried to keep. One touch and they shatter, one look and they break. How much more pressure can one spirit take? I'm sweeping up the glitter of a life we once knew, under the weight of these brittle glass memories of you. I remember the clarity, the way we could see right through the surface of you and of me. But the frost settled in and the temperature dropped, and the heartbeat of the house just suddenly stopped. And now it's all distorted, it's all out of frame, just a broken mosaic attached to your name. Don't move too fast, don't speak too loud. There's a storm hiding inside of this glass bottom cloud. If I let them fall, if I let them go, I'll be bleeding out in the winter snow. Handle with care, there's nothing left there, just the stinging remains of a love once blue, and the brittle glass memories of me and you. Of me